An undetected heart problem killed a Crosby football player. Now his grieving family is hoping new legislation will prevent another tragedy.
The Texas legislature will have the chance to sign what's called Cody's Law, which would require all student athletes to have a certain type of heart test.
An electrocardiogram could have saved the life of 18-year-old Cody Stevens.
Jessica Borg spoke with Cody's father. She joined us on the city's north side. Jessica, Dad is hoping the third time will be the charm passing this bill.
Len, that's right. The bill was first introduced in 2015, filed again in 2017, but lawmakers went home before it ever reached the Senate floor. This year, the family of Cody Stevens hopes the governor signs it into law to save lives.
It's just, it's indescribable, the pain you go through when you lose a child.
Scott Stevens lost his son Cody 6 years ago.
He was 6'9", 290 pounds, loved to hunt and fish.
And he loved football. He played right tackle for Crosby High School with dreams of being drafted by the NFL. 3 weeks shy of graduation, he died in his sleep from sudden cardiac arrest. Not a heart attack, but a sudden malfunction that stops the heart.
We never knew he had a heart issue. He passed all his physicals with flying color, and come to find out that he had an underlying heart issue.
An issue he says could have been detected by an electrocardiogram or EKG, an ultrasound that shows the structure and function of the heart. Stevens wants lawmakers to require EKGs for all high school students who play sports. Mayor Sylvester Turner co-sponsored the bill dubbed Cody's Law several years ago.
I'm glad that the bill has been reintroduced, and I would strongly recommend the legislature, the House, and the Senate.
I think this bill is so important.
Dr. John Higgins is a sports cardiologist at McGovern Medical School at UT Health. He says aside from physicals and histories, EKGs should be a must.
The NBA does it. The NFL does it. All of our professionals are doing it as well in this country, yet we're not doing it for the kids.
He says 1 in every 100,000 student athletes are at high risk for sudden cardiac arrest, which can lead to death within 1 hour of symptoms. But symptoms can be vague, including dizziness and shortness of breath. And sometimes there are no symptoms. Some physicians feel the test is not necessary and too costly. This father doesn't see it that way.
We've got modern techniques that we can do. Put these kids' hearts on a computer. It takes 5 minutes, it takes $20, and they're out the door.
Now, the bill would require the EKGs every other year for student athletes, but supporters hope it could at some point extend to band members, drill team members, and cheer. Experts say if the bill passes, Texas will be the first state in the country to have something like it on the books. We are live this afternoon on the city's north side. Jessica Borg, KHOU 11 News.